Oh, hey, didn't see you there. My name's Lucas Talmas. I'm studying political science here at ASU, and I'm in my junior year. So a little bit of background of information on my research. I always hear stories about the 1960 presidential election between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon, and the big sort of controversy that JFK would end up going on to become the first Roman Catholic president of the United States, and sort of some of the challenges and fears that people had. Basically, they were afraid that the country would then fall under the authority of the Pope rather than the Constitution. And so now, flash forward to 2012, where we had Barack Obama face off against Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney being the first ever Mormon presidential candidate, and no one seemed to really mind too much the fact of this new sort of religion possibility. So I was a little shocked by that, and so that's why I decided to go on and pose a research question that basically says, how much does a voter's personal faith or religion affect their political preferences in regards to candidate choice and policy outcomes? So when I was doing some of the research online, I saw a lot of places that looked into candidates' religion and how that affected their outcomes, I guess, of the elections, but never really studying the voters' religion. So that's kind of where I came up with this idea.
The hypothesis.
My hypothesis for the research question was that a large group of the voters would let their personal religion affect their policy and voting records. But as in with all cases, there's always an exception. There'd be a small group of people who would put their religious beliefs aside and vote for what they believed to be the best choice, or whatever they believed to be the best example of preferred candidate.
The methodology.
So the methodology that I chose to use for this study was a longitudinal questionnaire. And so since the study is completely observation-based, we're going off the actual voters' opinions themselves, a survey seemed to be the best option to help support the hypothesis. So basically, our questionnaire is a set of questions that will be asked to a sample population over a certain time period. And these same questions will be repeated every single time that the questionnaire is given. So that way it's to prevent any sort of miscommunication or change beliefs based on question wording. So, but one of the benefits of being a longitudinal questionnaire that we have the same subjects through every survey period is that there's a sense of trust that is built between the researcher and the respondent. And so that helps add to the validity of the subject's responses.
The procedure.
Some of the basic ways we're going to be applying these questionnaires results will be using like a simple 1 to 10 number scale, as in 1 being strongly support, and 10 being strongly oppose or disagree with. And so many of the questionnaire questions are going to be asked about controversial, debated social topics, such as support or opposition of homosexual marriage, or more economic, financial ideas, as in support or oppose of federal government welfare programs. So the expected findings of this, as my hypothesis said before, is that there's going to be, for the majority of people, their religious views are going to affect the way they vote, and but there will be a small percentage that chooses to put their religious views aside and decide what they feel is best for the country, or follows best under the given circumstances of proposition or candidate choice.
The significance.
So what this study will really help further the community is it will really help researchers get deeper into the mind of the American voter population. And so we already know like how socioeconomic class can affect voting patterns, and levels of education can affect voting patterns. But with this, we'll be able to understand a little more about understanding exactly how much a voter's religion affects their policy choices and such. So that is my project, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Lucas Talmas, Political Science 301.